My boyfriend refuses to sleep with me with protection, so I faked being pregnant. Started dating like a year ago, and when we started dating, I got on birth control. Like, I tried for 6 months and it just doesn't work. Like, I feel horrible. One of my biggest fears is to get pregnant, so I said we're gonna have to start using protection now. Like, he literally started freaking out in the beginning, saying he wouldn't do that. Like, he refused to do it. And I told him, well, this is not really a negotiable thing, so if you don't use, then we're just not gonna do anything ever. And like, for the past 6 months, it's been like a struggle whenever we decide to do anything, because like, he's constantly like trying not to use it. The thing is, like, I'm obsessed with him, I love him, and he kind of started saying that he would probably break up with me because he just couldn't be in a relationship if he had to have intercourse like that. So a week ago, I was actually furious because he did the most disrespectful thing ever, I think. So I said, okay, let's do it without anything. But the thing was that against my will, he finished inside me. So I decided, you know what, since he doesn't care about this at all, let's fake a pregnancy. It feels like he doesn't think about the consequences, but I know that if I faked it, he would be scared. Oh, by the way, after he finished, he did start panicking, and that was even more like, why did you do it then? He started saying that he had to go and buy me the morning after pill. I was like, okay, I'm gonna scare him. I told him, okay, never mind. I'm already late in my cycle, so it probably won't work. And I know this is not like technically right, but he doesn't know it. So I knew I wasn't gonna be pregnant because of the cycle and everything, but still I wanted to scare him because I thought it was just very disrespectful that he didn't think about it. And I was like, you better get serious about this because there is no way, you already know this, there's no way that I'm ever gonna get an abortion. So then I go a step further and I say, okay, so I'm probably gonna have to quit my job, so you're gonna have to like get a second job. And he was like, okay, let's do a pregnancy test right here, right now. And I was like, it doesn't work like that. It wouldn't show up, like it'll probably just show up in a few weeks. And this was a week ago, so when I tell you that throughout this whole week, like, he hasn't been able to eat anything. I already got my period, by the way, but he doesn't know it because he doesn't even want to do anything. I think he needs to learn his lesson. So I'm probably gonna say like the truth in like 2 days or something. I'm just like actually enjoying seeing him suffer. Yesterday I heard him cry in the bathroom and I kind of felt guilty, but this was what he needed to learn the lesson, so.
Hey guys, get ready with me while I talk about the date I went on 3 days ago and how I almost died. So I met this guy on TikTok. Actually, he DM'd me, and he didn't live too far from me. Like, he actually has 2 apartments. He has one in Portland, New York, and he has one in New York City. So we ended up like adding each other on Snapchat, and he got my number, which I really liked. Like, he asked me for my number first, and then we started Snapchatting, and you know, he was just talking to me, and he seemed like such a nice guy. Like, he was my type, like perfect, like 6'4", Italian, tattoos, very, very attractive, and he's very sweet. He says literally all the right things, like perfect. Like, I would have never expected this. So at this point in time, he was in Cortland, which was really close to me. So we went on a date, and before this date, he would like ask me like kind of like questions about my past relationship. He was like, has a guy ever like bought you jewelry before? Like, has he done this? Has he done that? And I was like, no, like, no guy has ever like bought me jewelry before, because they haven't. This man shows up on the date with this necklace, this ring, and this bracelet. They're all bows, which I was like, how does he know like I like bows this much? Like, I was so like, I wasn't weirded out, but I was kind of just like how does he know? Anyways, he was such a gentleman on the first date. Like, held the door open for me, paid for dinner, bought me flowers, obviously like bought me a bunch of jewelry, which I was like, this is like kind of weird, like suspicious. Like, this is the first time I've like ever met this guy in person, and we've only been talking for like a couple weeks. Like, why is he like buying me all of this stuff already? When he was dropping me off, cause like I went home after the date, whatever, he was playing like The Weeknd, Lana Del Rey, which are like all my favorite artists, Drake. Like, he was just playing all of that, which like I also didn't tell him like what kind of music I liked, and I was like, oh my god, like, you know who Lana Del Rey is? Like, because guys don't listen to Lana Del Rey. He's like, oh yeah, she's one of my favorite artists. And like I told him to put on I think it was Cola, like, by her, and he's like, oh my god, this is like my favorite song. I'm like, this is literally my favorite song, like, what? And then like he put it on and he literally didn't know any of the lyrics, so I was like, what the fuck? Like, I didn't want to like make him feel bad because like I thought he was just being cute and like trying to make it seem like we had like the same music taste. But like now that I think about it, it kind of just seems like he was studying me for like weeks before we even hung out. Like, I don't know. But after that date, like, we would call on the phone a lot, FaceTime a lot, you know, text a lot. Like, also he's like 27, so I didn't really Snapchat him like much, which I also really liked. Like, I liked how mature he was, or like how I thought he was. But like we would just talk and he'd be so like loving and like be so like affectionate and so like manly and like, you know, like just being really super like sweet and cute. And then like after a couple days of us like texting, he started getting really weird, like too much. Like, he was like, I'm gonna marry you, like, I'm gonna propose to you soon, like, just straight like weird stuff, like, I want to have babies soon. Like, I'm just like, I literally just got out of a relationship, like, I am not looking for that yet. Like that is just too much for me to talk about right now, like, I just can't. And he was like, oh, like, that's fine, like, you know, I'll wait for you like as long as I can, like, I'll wait for you like as long as you want. And I was like, okay. And then a couple days go by and we're still texting because like it's not weird enough for me to like stop talking to him yet. And he's like, I'm going to my condo, like, I have some business to do, like, if you want to come with me, like, I'd really like to show you like my place. And I was like, yeah. So he picks me up. He's in Cortland, like his other apartment, and we drive all the way to New York City. And like on the way there, like, I don't even know how to explain it, like, he was just acting so different. Like he had like this shake in his voice, like he just looked like a lot different, like scared, like, kind of. And I was like, what the fuck, like, what is going on with this guy? Like, is he on coke or something? Like, I don't fucking know. But like the whole way there, he like wouldn't stop looking at me. He was like, oh my god, like, you're so beautiful, like, I can't believe you're in my car right now. And I'm like, thank you, like, but like it was excessive. Like, he just kept saying it like over and over and over, and like it started to make me really fucking uncomfortable, like really uncomfortable. Like, he was just like, your eyes, like, they're just so beautiful, like, your teeth are so beautiful, like, do the dentist like compliment your teeth a lot? And I'm like, what the fuck? Then we end up getting to his condo in New York, and I'm not even gonna lie, like, it was probably like the most beautiful place I've ever seen in my life. Like, oh my god, it was just like straight out of a movie. Like, I was like, I'm in heaven, like, oh my gosh. Then we ended up getting to his condo, and after we got settled and everything, he took me to this very, very nice steak dinner, like, very romantic. Like, I gotta fix that. Anyways, on this date, it was way creepier than the previous one we went on. He just started talking about like a lot of personal things about me that literally only my closest friends know. And I'm just like, how does he know this stuff? Like, this is creeping me the fuck out. So I'm sitting here texting my cousin, and I'm like, dude, like, I don't know, like, what's going on. Like, I don't know how he knows all this stuff, but like, you might need to come pick me up. Like, this is honestly like a really scary situation I'm in right now. And then we end up going back to his condo, and we're just laying on the couch, like, cuddling, watching a movie. And he then says, so how do you like your new home so far? And I'm like, what? And then I kind of just like laughed it off, but in my head I was scared as fuck. And he was just like, oh my god, like it literally sends chills down my spine. And then after I laughed, this man's whole demeanor like flipped. He was just went from like a soft like gaze to like a creepy fucking weirdo like gaze. He was like, why are you laughing? And I'm like, I don't know. And then he just started talking about like, oh, like you're gonna move in here with me, like we're gonna raise our kids. And I'm like, I already told you, like I am not looking for that kind of thing right now. Like it's too much for me. And he's like, I don't care, like I brought you here, like you're gonna stay here with me like while I do business, like you're not leaving. And then at this point I was like, okay, like I need to leave, like this guy's a fucking creep. I'm like texting my cousin, I'm like, you need to like come pick me up right now, like you need to fucking drive to New York and pick me up, like this is scary, like I don't know how he knows like all this information about me, like and like the things he's saying to me, like he's gonna try to keep me fucking held hostage here, like you need to come pick me up right now, like I'm scared. So obviously she comes and picks me up, but I was like, okay, well honestly you're making me super uncomfortable, so I'm leaving. Like my cousin's coming to pick me up. He's like, you're not fucking leaving, like I drove all the way to your house and I picked you up and I brought you here, you're gonna stay here with me, like blah blah blah. I was like, dude, like no, I'm leaving. And then I started running out of his condo. I'm like, I'm leaving, like this is scary. Like he literally starts fucking running after me, like he starts running after me. And I'm like, first I want to talk about my IEP. I'm 20 years old and I recently just got diagnosed with ADHD, and because of that I use filler words a lot in my sentences, but I've noticed that there's a lot of people being really mean about it for literally no reason. Like there is no reason for you to comment on my video those vulgar things, like it's not necessary. You shouldn't be being mean to random people on the internet. It just makes you look miserable and it makes you look bad. So FYI, if you comment something mean on my video, I'm going to delete it. Take that how you must. I'm gonna try to not say like a lot in this video, but also it's just the way I've talked for my whole entire life. Like I can't just change it in one video, you know what I mean? So if you don't like it, you can kindly just scroll away from my video. You don't have to leave nasty comments about it. I think I left off by telling you guys that I ran out of his apartment. As I was running out of his apartment, he started yelling at me. He was like, come back, like you're all mine, like you're not leaving, I'm not gonna let you leave, like I'm all you have. Like I literally just met this guy a couple weeks ago and he's saying all this creepy stuff to me. Anyways, I'm gonna try not to sound like a pick-me when I say this, but it's kind of important to the story. I am 5 feet tall. I am 120 pounds. This man is like 6'4", way taller than me, way bigger than me. I'm running from him. He's gaining on me fast. He catches up to me and he stops me. Like he gets in front of me and he stops me. He's like, please just stop, like calm down, like I'm not gonna hurt you, I would never do that. I'm screaming. I say, get away from me, you're scaring me, I just want to leave, I need to go home, you are making me extremely uncomfortable, I'm not interested in you anymore. I'm just yelling all of this while he's just holding my shoulders, trying to get me to like come back into his apartment. And I'm like, no, like I'm not doing that, like I'm not going with you. But obviously I stop and I start talking to him because it's literally just me and him, like in the hallway of his condo. So there was nothing I could do. There's not really any doors around. So I'm just talking to him and I was like, how do you know like all these things about me? Like it's creepy. Why are you like rubbing it in my face, trying to make it seem like you're the only person in the world that I have? And then after I called him creepy, he literally just started, he like grabbed my shoulders, was like shaking me, and he screamed in my face. He's like, I'm not fucking creepy. You had a terrible life. I just wanted to show you what it's like to be loved because I know you were never loved. I watched your TikToks for weeks. I learned all about you so you would learn to love me for like knowing all this stuff and treating you the way you deserve. And I'm just thinking, how is this treating me the way I deserve? How is you luring me into your apartment to try to get me to stay there treating me the way I deserve? That is not treating me the way I deserve. It's fucking creepy. But after he freaked out on me and said that, I kind of just sat there for a second thinking about what to do, and I just started running. I started running for my life. He's running after me. He's screaming. He's like, you're never gonna find someone else like me. You're never gonna get the life you want if you don't stay here with me. I'm offering you so much. Just come back. Like, just being so creepy. But as I'm running, I finally like get close to the lobby. I took the stairs and I started dialing 911, and I got on the phone with them, and I think he heard them like on the phone, so he stopped following me. And I don't really know like where he went after that, but I ended up going onto the street and I was on the phone with them. I was like telling them the situation, and I'm on the street outside of his apartment building. I wish I was joking when I said this. I wish I was joking when I'm saying this. I look up at the apartment building and he's holding a picture of me on the window. A picture of me on the fucking window. Mind you, I'm 21 years old. I graduated high school almost 3 years ago. So I don't have any of my senior photos on any of my social medias. So this man literally looked up my family or something and found out the photography page I got my pictures done by, and he printed a picture, like a senior photo of me out, and he had it held up to the window. After I saw that he had that picture, obviously I was like looking at him and my eyes were widened. He could see. And I started yelling on the phone to 911, and all he did was smile and walk away from the window. I also saw a couple comments where they were like, oh, this story's fake. I truly wish it was. Like, as crazy as it sounds, it's completely real. It's 100% real, and it was one of the most traumatizing things that's ever happened to me, and I hope and pray no other girl ever has to go through it. Anyways, NYPD ends up picking me up literally off the street. I'm scared, I'm shaking, I'm crying. They take me to a station, and I obviously reported everything, and I'm still waiting to see like what they say, like what's happening, if I need to go to court or something. So I'll definitely keep you. I think I'm gonna start a YouTube because I also have a lot more stories like this. Like, I have a lot of other trauma that I would love to share with you guys because I know you guys would be so invested. So I'm gonna put my YouTube in my bio, and if you guys want, you can follow me, because we don't know if TikTok's actually gonna get banned or not. So, but you thought the story ended there. No. So obviously in the car on the way to the station, I blocked him on literally everything, deleted everything, made it so he couldn't contact me in any way. But I have my calls, unknown callers, silenced, so I can't get any calls from like no caller ID or like spam callers or anything. I woke up to 2,000 no caller ID calls from him and 500 voicemails in my blocked section in my voicemails. And what he said in those voicemails will literally haunt me until the end of my time. The end of my time, and I will not be sharing that on TikTok. So obviously I reported it to the cops, and yeah, I'm still waiting to hear like what they say, like what's gonna happen. I don't know if I'm gonna go to court. I honestly don't even know if he's in jail. Like, I don't know anything right now. But like I said, I'm gonna start a YouTube in case TikTok gets banned, so I will update you guys on there, and I will put my YouTube in my
Get ready with me about how I tell you I was in an active situation this past weekend and how I got this on my hand. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to be talking about how this past weekend I was in an active situation. Also how I got this big gash on my hand. So this past weekend I traveled to Dallas, Texas for a very big cheer competition called NCA. It's like one of, if not the biggest cheer competition, I think, like in the world, in like the sense of like the most people attend it. So like I said, NCA is like a very big competition, and it takes place in the K. Bailey Hutchinson Convention Center in Dallas, Texas. You can look it up if you want. There's news reports about it, obviously, because it was like a whole shooting incident. So yeah, that's where it takes place, and this was its 30th year being there before next year it would be moved to Houston, Texas, because they're actually demolishing the K. Bailey Hutchinson Convention Center since it's like so old. So they're gonna demolish it and they would be rebuilding it for like however long that takes. And then once it's rebuilt, then they would move NCA back to K. Bailey. So this year is actually going to be my 7th year competing at the competition. So like I've said, I've been going there for literally ever. And yeah, but also something to note, that place has like no safety protocols, which is insane for a cheer competition. Usually for cheer comps, they at least check your bags. Not all comps have metal detectors, but usually at the bare minimum, security will be at the door checking your bag. Nothing like that. NCA, I assume they just, like I said, it's such an old convention center where it's like the safety protocols that we need today weren't instilled in it when it was built. So that's also like a whole preface for this. Okay, now actually getting to the story. This all took place on Saturday, which I believe was March 1st. And the competition technically starts Friday night, where like some international teams will go and some like prep teams. And there's this big thing in the arena called Battle in the Arena. So that was technically day 1 of the competition. So on day 2, which is Saturday, this all happened at around 1 p.m. So my team was supposed to perform in the arena at 2:17 p.m. And it was about like 12:50ish, like around that, like 12:50ish to like 12:58. And we had just finished doing our pre-warm-up in our team room. And my coach was like, okay, girls, you guys have until 1 o'clock to go to the bathroom, finish like doing your makeup touch-ups and hair touch-ups before we all leave to walk to go to warm-ups together. So me and my friend had actually already used the bathroom earlier. My best friend, this is my best friend talking about, and I'm going to be referring to her as my best friend for the rest of the story. Everyone else I'm just going to refer to as like my teammates. So me and my best friend, we had already used the bathroom like earlier, so we were just sitting in the team room like waiting. We don't go on our phones. I don't go on my phone either. We both don't go on our phones. So like basically from the time we start like meeting together at comp, we just get off our phones because it's the best way for us to stay focused. And if we like go on our phone, then we get distracted by things. So yeah, we're like waiting to go, and our other friend has we're all on the same team. She had just went to go use the bathroom, and so we're sitting in the team room, and then these girls who also, because okay, so basically this huge convention center, and kind of like each gym, not every gym gets one, but our gym's a big gym, and we're like a D1 program, so we have our own like team room, and like I said, our program's pretty big. So it's like this big kind of like ballroom, I guess. Not really a ballroom, like smaller than a ballroom, but like it's like a room in a convention center. And it's like has like those like foldable like walls that open up. And so it's like this pretty big room. And so that's our team room. And a team room is like basically everyone from the gym, everyone from the program uses that room and like meets in there. So like I said, we're in this team room. And all of a sudden these girls who are like from our gym, but they were sitting outside because they had already competed and they were just chilling. They run into our team room, and their moms run into, and these girls who don't even cheer at our gym run in, and I'm like, what the heck? And this mom starts like yelling, not yelling, but she's like, there's a shooter. And me and my friend are like, what? And then when that starts happening, my friend who went to the bathroom, she like ran in with everyone else because she saw everyone running in. And so they're like, there's like a shooter. And so everyone's like kind of confused, but our coach is like, get against the wall. So there's like 2 walls. This side has a bunch of chairs, and this side it doesn't. There's just like backpacks. So she's like, get against the wall, like go now. Because they didn't really know what was happening, so they were just like trying to get us situated, I guess. So we get against the wall, and there's like chairs, but there's like a gap between the chairs. So I'm literally sitting in between this gap, like trying to get as low and hidden as possible. And so there was like, so there's mats in our team room so people can like warm up and stuff. So there was this little team, like maybe like 8 and 9-year-olds was on the mat, and their coach didn't know what was happening. So they're still practicing on the mat. And so my coach goes up to their coach very quietly, very discreetly. She like tells him the situation, and he gets his like athletes and he brings them also against the wall. So at this point it feels like very real, and we're like, okay, we need to like do something. So everyone starts texting and calling their parents. And my phone was kind of in my backpack. I couldn't reach it, but my friends could reach it. And I wasn't going to call my parents, like, right now because I didn't really know what was going on. But then I was like, okay, wait, like, no, this is, like, real. So then I call my mom and I tell her, like, what's going on. And we are in completely different parts of the convention center. I'm over here by, like, the warm-up area, and she's all the way at the other end in the arena. If you don't know what the arena is, it's this, like, really big place where, like, really big teams perform at NCA. And it's basically secluded from the rest of the competition. And so our parents... me and my best friend's parents were in the arena along with like a lot of our other friends' parents because they always like do stuff together, and they were trying to get good seats to watch us perform later. So they're all sitting in the arena, and I call my mom. We're all calling our parents. We're like, Mom, like, we don't know what's going on, but like, please be careful. So then apparently what my mom said was after she received the call and like her other parent, like other parents received the call, they all like got down under the seats, I guess. So yeah, for this story, I'm not with my mom at all. And so we all stay in the team room together. And my friend who had gone to the bathroom, her mom, after she had called her, ended up coming into the team room. And she runs in, and she's, like, with 2 other parents. And she's like, there's a shooter, get down, get down. And so I'm assuming that he's, like, near us. So I'm, like, freaking out. I'm like, oh, my God, oh, my God. And I'm trying to crawl under these seats to hide. And then we end up sitting there for a little bit longer when then our coach is like, get up and move to that wall. So we all get up and we all run over there. And so we get up and we move to this wall, and I'm like everyone's like laying on top of each other, laying on backpacks. I end up laying down on this mom who's like from our littles team, like the junior team that we're like big and little sisters with. I'm laying on her lap, and she's like petting my hair like, it's okay. And my other like the teammate was laying with me. I'm like, it's okay, it's okay. And the littles are behind us, like sitting against the wall with their mom, and I'm like petting their leg. I'm like, it's okay, it's okay. So our coaches like ended up rolling up the mats to try and like block us, and they're like, put backpacks on you, like you got it. And like a bunch of the dads and like my coach, who's like a grown man, were like at like the escalators, not letting anyone come up. They had these big metal signs and like chairs, like ready to fight them. And I don't know how long we were hiding there for, but a decent amount, maybe like 10 minutes, not even. And then one of our coaches is like, we're gonna evacuate you guys quietly and calmly. And everyone starts talking, and they're like, and then this coach gets on the chair and he's like, be quiet, we're gonna evacuate you guys very calmly, very orderly. We need you guys in a line. We're gonna head out this way. We're gonna go down these stairs. And so we get up, and I grab the girl I'm sitting with, and I grab some of my teammates, and I grab my best friend. I'm like, we're going, come on. So we're walking down these stairs, and I grab another one of my teammates who was walking with, but she's like kind of like just saying, I'm like, come on, we're going, let's go. And so they take us down these stairs, and we're in like this kind of like big field-ish area. And there's like this like bridge like to start going onto the freeway. And so we're all standing there like, get under this bridge. And we're standing under that bridge, and everyone's like kind of freaking out. I'm calling my mom. I have no idea what she's doing. She's like, I'm safe. I'm with your dad. Like, we're doing this. We're in here. I have no idea where they are. And I'm like scared. I'm like, okay, just be safe. Like, please. So like I said, we're all just sitting there. And then like standing under this bridge. And then someone swears they heard a gunshot. And so everyone just starts running. And I'm just like, I'm starting to run too, because I just see everyone else running, and I get pushed down, or I trip, I think I got, no, that time, no, yeah, no, I tripped, and so I get back up, and I start running again, and this mom pushes me on the ground so hard, and then that's how I got these, and this on my shoulder. My best friend who I was running with, she turns around, she sees me on the ground, she comes back to me, she grabs my arm, she's like, come on. She pulls me up, and we start running, and we find this little girl, and she starts running with us, and that's how we got out. And we just started running into like literally the street, and that's when the police finally get to the convention center, and we're all still crying, we're all still freaked out. This is gushing blood. My knee's scraped up too, I've got a bruise there. And we ended up walking to my friend's hotel, which was like half a mile away from the convention center. And we stayed there until we got reunited with our parents. So, yeah. That was the most traumatizing day of my life. Thanks for getting ready with me.